Okay, well, I have to make a little follow-up. This is Koji from Celestial Rhythms. Follow-up on my last video on the Mercury Chiron conjunction heliocentrically. I kind of started talking about it in my just prior one, and then I got sidetracked, as I often get. So this is again the chart of April 9, that is when Mercury and Chiron were exactly at the same place as seen from the Earth, and this is the heliocentric chart. Now, it doesn't really matter so much which moment we are looking at here. All these planets are moving very slowly. Mars is probably one of the fastest. Now here I have actually the animated version in front of me where I can jump ahead and back. So you see I can jump here ahead, and that would be today, and that would be tomorrow, just within 24 hours of each other. You see these slow planets like Pluto and ERIS, they're moving very, very slowly. They move barely from day to day. Mars is a little faster. You see, if I go back here, you see Mars. If you focus on Mars here, Mars, that is for example now April 7, Mars was at 23. Now you see that is heliocentric, about half a degree a day. So Mars yesterday has just been starting to get here in touch with this Pluto, and today we have the exact Mars-Pluto opposition heliocentrically. It's kind of heliocentric is an interesting level. It's the pre-manifest, I would call it. It's the purely energetical. Think of the sun. The sun is kind of like a combustion, a ball of fire, pushing out hot gases in all directions, and the solar wind is traveling at speeds somewhere between 300 kilometers per second, 300 kilometers per second, up to 2000 or more in the wake of big solar flares, when huge blasts are shooting out of that hot ball of fire the sun really is. So what is this consisting of? Its photons, electrons, charged particles, and they have the imprint of that moment within them when they are ejected, when they are created, when they are born, and they're released. And it's the geometry of the planets around the sun which imprints them with a certain coding, gives them a particular frequency. It is very interesting. I've done some research on that, just by the way, and big solar flares. There's always similar configurations of planets when big solar flares happen. It's mainly Jupiter and Pluto who are, interestingly enough, my research showed, always in a so-called harmonious aspect, either in a sextile or in a trine, which means 60 degrees apart or 120 degrees apart, when big solar flares are happening, the really biggest ones on in history. And once I get time to do some more writing and research in the coming years, I definitely plan to do some publication on that. Very, very interesting how the planets shift the sun's energy. So this is the energy we are fed by. It takes 8 minutes or so from the earth, from the sun to the earth by light speed, about 8 minutes. If the sun would go out 8 minutes, we still would see it in the sky, and then darkness would fall on us. So this is very immediate, and these charged particles, they are keeping us alive, and we are breathing those, we are bringing them into our system, into our atmosphere. So the heliocentric energy is that underlying coding of energy which we are consuming on a momentary, on a everlasting pace. It's just so anyway, this long introduction, sorry about that. What I want to show you here is this powerful Mars Pluto energy squared by ERIS. And if you look at the greater picture, then here we have this beautiful sandwiching of ERIS at the third house cusp by Venus and Ceres, as well by Uranus and Chiron. And if we look at the bigger one, even from the from Mercury with Neptune to Sedna here. So what I want to say is this ERIS is highly powerful in this position. ERIS is the one which shakes things up. Yes, ERIS is the one which throws the golden apple of discord in the middle of the table where all the gods are sitting up in Olymp, merrily at the surface, merrily interacting. ERIS comes, throws in that apple of discord, which triggers the gods to go to a more real place of recognizing their feud with each other, that they are in fact, that there's many things which are not really as they should between them, and they are challenged to go to war with each other. That's the start of the Trojan Wars, to bring a greater balance. That's kind of the base of this energy. Again, the story goes, ERIS was discovered in 2003 or so, found to be slightly bigger than Pluto. Okay, this is really what matters for those of you who do not know that story. That challenged astronomers, the astronomical world, into either accepting ERIS as planet number 10, or to go over the books and go through that, accept that challenge, and go over the books and rewrite the definition of planets. And that's what they did, because Pluto is so much smaller than Neptune, which is kind of the last of the big planets. Neptune is roughly about 4 times the diameter of Earth, about 30,000 kilometers. Then comes Pluto, about 2,000 kilometers, about half the diameter of our moon. So you see that there's a big difference in size, and this was kind of brought into context by ERIS, saying, okay, here's the challenge. Is this really a planet, this guy, or not? I'm here the argument for it, that it is not, that it is more kind of what I am, which is a minor planet. Not that they are not important, but it's just a matter of classification in the end. So in the bigger picture, it really doesn't matter. A small planet can have as great an influence. It's all about having it central, having it supported by symmetry as we have here. And this is a great symmetry, kind of ERIS allies, you could call them. See? And last and not least, that's Earth up here, from Earth's point of view. And when we then look at the whole picture from the Earth's perspective, what you see is the Sun near the center will be aligned with ERIS here. This is just a little reminder. That's how it would look in geocentric astrology. The Sun approaching ERIS. That's the big picture. That's really what's where we're heading to in the next few days. And I will talk about that one too. So let's keep it at that for this one. Actually, no, I should say a couple more things. The Mercury-Neptune conjunction, yes, okay, yeah, very true, very important. That is coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow is day number 1 in the Mayan calendar. Today, as I'm recording this, we are on day 13. Let me just go back here quickly. This is today, April the 10th. April the 11th, new moon will be 1 Etznab, and we're cutting then into the middle section. You read this table vertically down. So we're coming from here today, the last day of this 13-day cycle, kind of the day of celebration, of wrapping it all up, bringing it up all together into a new seed. That's what the 13 means, to be then sprouting on the number 1 day, the mirror of self. It is the day of enlightenment in a way, but it has its price in that sense. It is allowing for a transformative experience. That's what Etznab is about. It's the initiation. Let's put it that way. The initiation. So the initiation starts tomorrow. And then by April 12th, storm. Kawak is storm, the thunder being, coming in with a big. Here you go, a new infusion of divine energy. Okay, think of that. The 12th, the 13th, right? I say that right. That will be a season day, another very important day in the 260-day grid. You see there's only 4 yellow days. These are days when the wheel is again accelerated. It's a day of new beginnings. So the number 1 day usually is the day when the framework is set. Okay, here we go. That's the fact. That's the new plan, the new paradigm we are looking at. Number 2 day on Kawak, that would be the 12th, is then when it polarizes. And this basic principle gets challenged in a way. Number 3 is then when it's activated on an Ahau day, which is all about higher ideals and great visions. Ahau, the solar lord, beautiful, beautiful energy, very nice when it's in that phase of churning the wheel of fortune, the wheel of life, accelerating that rotational movement of spiraling. Thinking of the dervishes dance. Beautiful meditation, by the way, for those of you who would like to try out something new. Become a dervish. Beautiful meditation, yes. I did enjoy that many times. Okay, so then we get into the central column from April 14th on into May the 3rd. Yeah, I guess it's visual. It's very clear from this whole presentation that it's a fasten the seatbelt time which is coming up. This is the core period of transformation. The Mayan calendar again goes back to December the 15th when this 260 day started we're presently in, which is a template of time which is based on galactic time. That's the frequency the whole galaxy, the whole Milky Way is resonating with. And this teaching has been brought to humanity thousands and thousands of years ago from star nations, the Mayans. They lived here on this planet for a period, and then they departed all again. They said, well, we have been here, done that, let's move on to a new world. It's the only explanation for all these abandoned cities. There's no traces, no skeletons, nothing, just the buildings, the big, beautiful, powerful pyramids and other structures down in Mexico. I was traveling there for several months, visiting all these sites. Anyway, that's just them telling you how important this synchronicity is with galactic time we are in right now. The synchronicity that this new cycle started on the first day after the December 14th eclipse, total solar eclipse, which was visible in Chile and Argentina. So April the 14th to May the 3rd, the core period of transformation. Keep that in mind. And by September somewhere we are coming here to the end of this 260 day frequency wave to start a new one. So I know it's still a few months away, but in a greater picture of evolution, this is just a split second. If we live in the now, if we enjoy this moment, that's all which is really existing. The rest is all fiction. Yeah, and as I said in my earlier video, as we are constantly raising the frequency of this planet, it's happening. Really, we are pushing into new zones by the day. So new levels of consciousness are coming in, and slightly we are experiencing this shifting of gears every day a little bit. So there's so many unknowns right now. This is a moment of creation, as beautifully described by the bigger picture. Let me see. Yeah, it's here. This is the heliocentric. That's what I want to show you. It's that bigger picture of Maki opposing Chiron and Salacia. Maki is the force of creation, making things literally tangible, bringing a whole new level of immediate manifestations almost. It really goes in that direction, and it's a very joyful process here, supported by Salacia, which is all about having fun and doing things which are cheerful and uplifting. Interestingly, Chiron here, so it's that whole healing journey which actually proves to be, if we really accept it, if we just bite into the sour apple, it is more enjoyable than we would think, and it's really the creation of a new world we are experiencing, and we are in the core phase of it. I am, those of you who follow me, they know I'm very thrilled by the 9, the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, which is channeled by magenta pixie. They say that, oh, I guess I lost my thread now, what I wanted to tell you. I did too long of an introduction. That happens. Let's go back to the chart here. Sorry about that. Okay, maybe it comes back to me. So, yes, I guess I leave it at that for this video, and make another one about the new moon, and then talk more about the astrological energies of that new moon. Thanks again, and see you hopefully very soon again.